Now we welcome in to the NIL Minor Lounge Jordan Karrh, a redshirt junior at Dallas Baptist on the women's golf team. Jordan, welcome in. How are you doing this morning?
Pretty good. How about you?
Doing fantastic. Thanks so much for joining and stopping in. I think there's a lot of great announcements that you've just done recently. You've recently started the season. You put up a new NIL activation with um, uh, a new brand. And, so I think there's a lot of things to dive into. But first, if you don't mind just introducing yourself, telling people who you are and kind of where you came from.
Yes, so as you said, my name is Jordan Karrh. I'm from Frisco, Texas, and I play at Dallas Baptist University. And I'm a redshirt junior, but technically I just graduated actually in December.
Mhm.
So I'm now in grad school studying to do my master's in international business. And yes, our season just started. We've played one event, and we actually leave tomorrow morning for our second event of the season.
Wow. So just turning around and going back, that event was it a great success for you and your team? I think you guys shot as a team 28 under par and nobody else even shot par. So you ran away with it. And of course, you
Yes,
guys are defending national champions
it's very
at
exciting.
the D2 level. So talk to me about the event and where your team's mindset is in trying to repeat as national champs.
I think it cut out. Oh,
Oh, I'm
there we
sorry.
go. Okay.
Uh,
Sorry.
yeah, just so you guys dominated that event, strong start to the season. Is your and your team's mindset at in trying to repeat as national champions this year?
Honestly, just taking it event by event. If you look back at last spring, we kind of had a little bit of a struggle leading up into postseason. And I think we finally came together around, actually, I would say regionals. We played at our home course. We hosted regionals last year, and it kind of all just came together. We knew what our goal was. We wanted to win another national title. We had won 2 years prior, and we all just came together and we're like, that's what we're going to do. We have to start now. And so that happened at regionals. And so I think after the fall that we had this past year, we did not play our best. We didn't play bad, but we could have done better. And so going into this spring, this past week, we're like, okay, this is a new opportunity. Let's get our name back out there, our ranking higher, everything like that. And so actually after this past week, we got back to being number one in the country, which was exciting. So I think that just gives new motivation going into this upcoming week in Florida, just to keep up what we're doing. Some of the best teams in the country are going to be there, and it's going to be a good competition.
Yeah, so if you don't mind, take me back to last season, going through maybe not playing your best, closer to the end, and then just having to rally and say like, all right, this, we have to turn it around to, this it's tournament time or what have you. What was that like? Was that like a lot of pressure or what helped you guys respond to that adversity you were facing?
I feel like for me personally, I had actually been struggling myself last spring. So at the beginning of the spring, I won our first event, which was the same event we played this past week. So I'd played well there, and then I struggled for a few weeks, which it wasn't like bad, but it was different than I had previously been playing. So just going into it, I finally tried to take score out of it. And I was like, I'm just going to play my game. Every shot's a new opportunity, and just focus on the shot at hand and see what I can do with it and not worry about the results. And then that ended up helping me out towards conference. I played well in conference, and then going into regionals, I played well there too, just by trying to take a step back and not trying to convince myself like, oh, I have to win. I have to place top five, all the things I had always done previously. But that really helped me. And especially going into nationals, I played well the first two rounds of stroke play. And then the final round, I shot, I think, 68. And so that was exciting where I was like, okay, I've got this, I've got the confidence. And then going into match play at nationals, we play match play a bit differently than some other divisions. We play it head to head. So if I shoot 75 and you shoot 78, then I won three up. It's not a hole by hole match, it's
Hmm.
total score. So it's medal match play. And so that was exciting too, is every shot matters. And just the adrenaline that you get from playing that was also super exciting. And I'm excited to get back to that. We play that at conference as well, so I'm excited for that to come back.
Wow, yeah, so different style, probably different strategy goes into that as well.
Yes,
What was the moment like when you guys won the national title last year?
it was honestly surreal. So we won my freshman year as well, and I was a redshirt then. So I
Redshirt.
went and watched. Yes, so I watched, didn't get to play, but that was an amazing experience. But this one meant something totally different to me because I actually got to play. I actually lost my match in the championship match, so that was I was a little frustrated with myself. But then I had two girls behind me, and so whenever I knew that both of them or one of them was leading her match and she was coming down, it's kind of like everything about yourself goes out the window because you're like, oh my gosh, my teammate is going to win. And then she hit it on the green and ended up winning her match.
Hmm.
And it's kind of everything goes out the window of, yes, we play an individual sport. And when you're on the golf course, it is pretty much individual because you know what your teammates are doing, but you can only take care of yourself. So it's only at the end whenever you realize how it is in a team aspect. And so it was honestly so surreal just to experience and have that win. And if you had asked us all season long, we knew that winning the national title was our goal, but we had not been playing like a team that was going to win. And so when we finally came together and had made the decision to act like it all came together. And so that was exciting.
That's amazing. You struck on that key point because golf is so individual, but you still play a team sport. So that's interesting. It's an interesting dynamic. I would think.
Right.
Uh, moving moving off the course for a minute, you mentioned you graduated, you mentioned you're pursuing your master's in international business. Um, you know, I know you're, going to pursue professional golf, but what is it that draws you to, the business side, especially international business? What do you like about that? What are you trying to, maybe prepare yourself for in that field?
So I graduated with my undergrad in finance. And so I enjoyed that. Some of the classes were a bit hard last semester, but I got through it. And so then when I was choosing which program I was going to go into with my master's, I wanted something that could just give me an overlook of everything business. I'm passionate about marketing and graphic design and all of this kind of stuff. So I tried to find a degree that would have everything. So I'm taking accounting classes, finance classes, marketing, management. So I'm doing a little bit of everything. We actually don't have to take any language classes for international business, which is kind of
Okay.
shocking to me, but I'm interested and I want to learn Spanish. So I know a little bit, but not much. And so that's something I'd be interested in learning, especially living in Texas. It's helpful to know Spanish and something like that. So that's kind of where I want to go with that. And currently I'm interning with a company that I'm doing more marketing, but it's a more finance company. So I'm kind of getting to hit on everything with that.
Yeah, and with NIL, name, image, and likeness now being, oh, no, can you hear me? With NIL, name, image, and likeness now prevalent across college sports, available to you guys. What has your experiences been with NIL, and maybe how has your business finance background helped you at all? Marketing background helped you as you've kind of navigated those waters.
I feel like more towards the marketing side of things, it's been helpful for me to advertise myself to companies, making connections. Even before Lone Star NIL, I had made connections before that with finding companies and reaching out and basically marketing myself.
Hmm.
And I'm interested in all the content creation and stuff just in general. So
Yeah.
that's helped as well with whatever I'm advertising for. Like yesterday, I did something for a smoothie company. And so with that, I made a reel and posted on my Instagram, which I just enjoy making myself and editing the videos and doing all of the things.
Mhm.
So that's been helpful. And stuff I've learned in classes actually have taught me more about content creation, especially in today's world with social media. So I've actually taken classes that have helped with that. So it's been nice.
Yeah, so that smoothie company, that was clean energy, right?
Correct.
Yeah, so I'm curious, how did you find and discover that opportunity, and kind of, yeah, I guess basically how did you find and discover that opportunity, and what was that process like going through it up to the creation of the ad?
So I got in contact with them in early December through Mogul. Um,
Okay.
they I connected with them there, and they actually emailed me asking if I wanted to do something with their company, and so I accepted that, and so that was nice. I have one more post I have to do for them. It's on my Instagram story, but yeah, that's how I connected with them, was through Mogul actually. But and I've done a few other ones through Mogul. I did Thorlo socks for golf, and which was a cool one just because that's something that is actually, people don't really realize how important that is for golfers. And
Mhm.
walking, we walk 36 holes a day, so it's, or when we're playing, and so I'm walking 16, 17 miles doing that, and so socks make a big difference for, as a golfer, and the way our
Definitely.
shoes fit and stuff like that. So I've used them a lot in like the different brand deals I've gotten with them. But
Yeah, that's great. What so finding, you basically found them through the mogul market, the NIL marketplace, where brands and athletes can come together. There are a lot of them out there. So that's awesome. And they reached out to you. So even even
yes,
better. They're, brands are looking for obviously athletes. On the creative side, you mentioned you do graphic design. You love creating, the reels, the videos, kind of get those creative juices going. What's your favorite part about that, that side of the business, the creative content creation piece?
oh, okay. So actually, our Dallas Baptist Golf Instagram account, I create all the graphics that go on the Instagram for DBU Golf, and so honestly, it's just fun and kind of relaxing to me.
Hmm.
Once coach tells me the lineup for either the guys, girls, whatever it is, and I just get to be creative with it. And so, like this past week, our boys played in San Antonio, and the graphic I made, I put the Alamo in it,
Yeah.
and it was just cool to whatever was going on in the city that they're going to. And same with the girls' team, we played in Houston, so we did the whole NASA thing, and so it was just cool to get to use the creative side and relate it to where we're going, just so that it kind of sticks in people's minds. Like people were talking about it at the golf tournament. Some people probably thought it was a little stupid, but our team we had fun with it. Just getting to see that I made it several different designs, and then we just chose which one we liked best. But
Yeah.
that's kind of where it's fun because I get to be creative and make it my own, but
Hmm.
while also making it specific to whatever I'm doing.
Yeah, that was the one with you guys were in the astronaut
Yes,
outfits. Nice. So that
yes.
you're the mastermind behind that. What types of tools do you use? Is it like Canva, CapCut? What types of tools do you use? I'm sure a lot of people would, always look for
I
that.
use Canva, so I
Okay.
have Canva Pro, and so I've been using Canva. But I honestly, I just upload all the like the astronauts. I found a picture of astronauts I wanted online, and then I cut out the heads of them and put in our roster pictures. And
Okay.
then I just not photoshopped, but used Canva to put it on that little space station picture. So like our boys are going to Las Vegas in 2 weeks, and so I started working on one with Elvis and making them all Elvis. So that one
Okay.
will be interesting and fun. But I just find random pictures on the internet, and then I use Canva Pro to edit them.
Yeah. Does that creativity, for you, does that go back? Does that stem back to something like growing up, or have you always been, creating and doing stuff, or is that, more recent development? Curious.
I've always probably been pretty creative in trying to do stuff like that. I It just kind of depends. But then whenever I got to DBU, I worked in the athletic office for my first summer here. And
Mm.
so I was watching our graphic designer work on things for the upcoming season. And I was just kind of fascinated by everything he was doing. He was using Photoshop, but I would just watch and be like, oh, how did you do that? That's cool. And so that's kind of where it started. And then I just started messing around with it for golf graphics. And the first few I made, like we didn't post them, but I thought they were cool and I just kept them for myself. But then I showed my coach and he was like, oh, well, that's really awesome. Like, let's use it. So doing that kind of stuff. And like, there's been other graphics where I'll take an old graphic and I'll just change the people on it or change the words. Like our schedule was a graphic I'd made previously, and I just was able to change this year's schedule and put different people on it. So
Mhm.
things like that I had actually made a while back, but then was able to use now.
Yeah. Okay, no, that's really cool, and I know you have many other interests. I think you love to travel, and
Mhm.
I think scuba diving was in your profile as well. What
Yes.
can you shed some light on maybe some other interests, hobbies you have outside of golf and school?
Yes. So I do love to travel, and my brother plays travel baseball. Now he's going to Baylor actually to play baseball. So I've always been traveling every summer, watching baseball games and doing all of that. And just also with golf, traveling all over the country. And my family likes to travel. So honestly, in high school, they had a scuba trip that you could go on with the school and you had to be certified. Well, I wasn't certified yet. And so I got all my certifications and I was the COVID class. So our trip actually got canceled due
Oh
to
no.
COVID. But I got certified then and I loved it and just kind of stuck with it. And then I guess I haven't gone in about a year now, but just with golf, it's been busy. But every time we travel anywhere, my family likes to go to the beach. So anytime we go to the beach, I was able to scuba dive and do different things. So I
Wow.
actually am an advanced scuba diver, and I'm working on my next certification that allows you to go 180 feet deep. So usually it's 60 feet is the max that they let you do with your main certification.
Okay.
So I'm excited to see 180 feet deep, which certain places you wouldn't think, but like where they take you to dive, there's not 180 feet deep where they take you. So
Hmm.
that'll be interesting. It just opens up new trips that I can do. So,
Where is the coolest place that you've scuba dived?
oh, actually, it was my first dive in Cancun. They have an underwater museum, and it's pretty far off the coast in between Cancun and Isla Mujeres, an island. So they have a museum where they literally have statues and a car and all of these like random things down there that you have to go from point A to point B like all across. So you can see a certain section, then you got to go somewhere else. But that one was really cool, and it was my first dive ever, and I was like, oh, wow. And there was a lot of cool fish down there and sea turtles and whatnot. My favorite animal is sharks, so like that's all I want to do is swim with the sharks. But
Oh, I was
I've
gonna
only
ask,
seen a few, but
have you swam with sharks or
I have
dove with
not.
sharks yet? Not yet. Okay.
I have not, but I would like to. So that would be cool. But I don't know how my parents would feel about that.
My brother did that recently in Hawaii. He didn't scuba. I think it was they just took a boat and it was like they had snorkel gear. So they were pretty close to the surface, but sharks were all there. So pretty wild. But that's
Yes,
really cool. Do you have a favorite shark?
I don't really. Great white shark, I guess, but
Okay, let's get you off the coast of South Africa then, put you in a cage and get you down
yeah,
there.
right.
Oh my gosh. Okay. Well, no, that's all really, that's fascinating. It's awesome. Envy your bravery there. Um, I'm I'm curious, I was on your page on the Dallas Baptist website, and it mentioned you had your favorite Bible verse was Romans 8:28. I was curious, what does that mean to you, and everything like that. How you lean into that, both on and off the course.
And I just feel like I chose that one because, well, I actually didn't know that one's the one on my bio because they've changed it this year back to Philippians 4:13. But
Okay.
that's interesting. They haven't changed it yet. But yes, I just feel like I have several other verses also written in my yardage book, and each one for different parts of how I write a note before every golf tournament, put it in my yardage book. So I usually choose a new verse every week, depending on how I'm feeling going into it. But with that, it's kind of like I've been given all of the skills that I have from God. So I need to use them to my best of my ability. And without God, I couldn't do anything. And everything is to live for Him. And part of our like motto at DBU is Champions for Christ, or that's our athletics motto. And
Yeah.
so you'll see that probably a lot on our posts. It says like hashtag C for C. That's what that means, Champions for Christ.
Mhm.
Um, just everything we do is for Him, through Him. Like everything, we wouldn't be where we are today without God. And so like we pray every time before we play, and that's something that's very important to our team, but I think is very different from other teams. And I know it's because we're at a Baptist school, but there's a lot of schools that have the Baptist name or the Christian name with it, but yet it might not be the focus whenever they're at a golf tournament. But we never leave a practice facility without praying and like thanking God for the experience that we woke up this morning and like we're able to compete and do it all in his name. So that's, I feel like, something different. And it's also really cool with golf. There's a lot of international players in the golf world, and you're playing with new girls every week. And there's so many times where they'll ask you and they're like, oh, Dallas Baptist, what does that mean? And it's just a new opportunity every week to be able to share your faith and like what you stand for, which is honestly really cool. Which I know with other sports, you probably don't get to do that because you're not really walking and talking in other sports like you are in golf. So.
Right. Yeah. There's not that downtime
Right.
to walk that like you have when you're walking the course. Okay. Well, Jordan, I did have another question. How did you get involved with Lone Star NIL to become an ambassador for that organization?
So Tom actually DM'd me on Instagram before they started Lone Star NIL and told me basically they were considering starting it and would I be interested in it. And I was like, yes, of course, I'd like to learn more. And so I kind of just kept in contact with him about what it was, what it is, what it stands for. And so I guess I don't really remember when that was. It might have been like in October or September, whenever he originally messaged me. So it's kind of been, it was a long time coming and I was excited about it. And that's kind of when I finally had started getting into the NIL stuff. Like I knew what it was, but I had never really tried to do anything with it. So it was kind of an exciting time of when he messaged me, I actually had been working on trying to find something. And so it was kind of like a God thing that he messaged me and it worked out. So it's been really good.
Yeah, that's so great. So that's awesome. And then you've gotten the individual accolades, you've gotten the team national champions, you're two-time All-American, you were freshman of the year, your redshirt freshman season. As you look ahead, obviously we've established that you guys are in season looking to repeat. Looks like you maybe have some personal goals to even perform better than the last time out. But what does your golf career in your mind? What do you envision that in the future of what that looks like when you say you're trying to play professionally and go pro there?
I've considered trying to go to Q school this summer. I still have another year of eligibility, but the golf course is the same for the first stage every year. So I've considered trying to go this summer, and it would be in August, and just seeing how it goes. And I mean, Q school would go all through my fall semester, but I've thought about going and trying to play and just seeing whatever happens. And at least at that point, I've already done it before next summer, whenever it actually is going to matter for me of needing to make it. Because then the pressure is not as, to me, it's like I've done this before. It's not anything new, which is kind of big for me. So that's part of how I feel about that. And it would be exciting to go this summer and play. I'm not 100% sure that's what I'm going to do, but it's been a thought that this summer I would try to play Q school, just see how it goes. And then the year after is when I would actually do it. So.
Perfect. Yeah, no, thank you so much. And I really appreciate you hopping on and visiting with me today. Where can everybody follow you and Dallas Baptist, golf, to see all your, designs and follow your journey and your team's journey for the rest of the spring?
So on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, everything, it's just Jordan Karrh. My last name is Karrh. And then Dallas Baptist Golf is just Dallas Baptist Golf on Instagram. And then on Twitter, it's DBU Golf. So.
Perfect. Thank you so much, Jordan. Best of luck this season.
Yes. Thank you.